Top 15 Failed Muscle Cars in American History. Muscle cars have long stood as a symbol of American pride, particularly shining bright during their golden age in the 1960s through the early 1970s. However, as emissions and fuel economy regulations tightened, the decline of muscle cars ensued. Manufacturers, in their efforts to comply with government standards, often rendered muscle cars feeble and lackluster. Join us as we embark on a countdown of the 15 worst muscle cars ever produced. Prepare to be taken aback by this lineup. If you found this video engaging, drop a comment with the number 1 to let us know. Feel free to share your thoughts on how we can further enhance our content. 1974 Pontiac GTO. The early '64 Pontiac GTO was hailed as the pioneer muscle car, sporting a straightforward yet potent 325 horsepower, 389 cubic inch V8 engine. Another variant offered 348 HP. According to Motor Trend, the base V8 could hit 60 mph in 7.7 seconds, while the tri-power did it in 5.7 seconds. By 1973, the GTO introduced a new 4555 CD V8 for Le Mans, producing 250 HP. The following year, Pontiac downsized to a 350 CD V8 with 200 HP. Despite its iconic shaker hood and GTO badging, it failed to impress, earning the nickname Granny's Car. Pontiac eventually discontinued the GTO brand due to poor reception. (1982) Pontiac Trans Am. The bold, futuristic design of the Trans Am caught attention, especially when it starred as KITT alongside David Hasselhoff in Knight Rider. However, its performance didn't live up to its appearance. The standard engine was a meager 2.5L 90 HP four-cylinder. A V8 option existed, but the Crossfire-injected 5.0L only churned out 165 HP, not much more than a lawnmower. Road tests revealed lackluster acceleration, with both non-turbo and turbo models taking 8 seconds to reach speed, sometimes with engine issues at full throttle. (1978-79) Oldsmobile 4x42. The term 4x42 denotes a 4-barrel carburetor, 4-speed manual transmission, and 2 exhausts. In 1970, the Cutlass 4x42 set a high standard with its 455 CID V8 engine delivering 370 HP. Special features included a fiberglass hood, unique camshafts, and functional air scoops with minimal restriction. However, the model saw a decline in performance starting in 1978 with the introduction of downsized versions featuring either a Buick-made 3.8L V6 or a Chevy 5L V8, both producing only 160 HP while retaining the 4-barrel carb and 4-speed manual gearbox. A notable release in '79 was the special Hearst edition with a 5.7L V8, though its power output remained modest at 170 HP for the full-size sedan. Critics argue that Oldsmobile should have reconsidered the name in the late '70s, as subsequent versions failed to match the standards set by the original. (1978) Ford Mustang King Cobra. The Pinto-based King Cobra marked a low point in Mustang history, churning out a mere 139 horsepower from its 302 CID V8 engine. Its only claim to fame was its cosmetic performance enhancements, like the vinyl hood snake decal, stripes, and 13-inch lacy aluminum wheels. Despite features like the forward-facing hood scoop, spoilers, optional T-top roof, and black and gold trim, it failed to rival the Trans Am. Fortunately, Ford only produced around 4,000 of these cars. However, the Mustang brand redeemed itself with the Fox model the following year. (1976-80) Plymouth Volare Roadrunner. The early 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird gained fame in NASCAR with its powerful dual-quad 426 Hemi engine, but later models like the Volare midsize coupe fell short. The standard Roadrunner featured a 318 CID V8 with 160 HP and a two-barrel carburetor. An optional 360 CID V8 with 175 to 196 HP offered a bit more speed, but couldn't match the early models. A major recall in 1977 addressed rust issues on the underbody. Despite its characterful design elements like slats, spoiler, bucket seats, and stripes, the car couldn't outrun Wile E. Coyote. 1978 AMC Gremlin GT. Some might call the Gremlin ugly, but it had a quirky charm with its angled hatchback and long hood. After 8 years, AMC gave it a send-off with the GT model, featuring a spoiler, beefy fender flares, wide 14-inch wheels, and a better interior. The 1977 Gremlin packed a 304 CID V8 with a disappointing 120 AP, later switching to a torque but low-horsepower 4.2 L V6, similar to Jeep CJ7s. Only around 3,000 GTs were made. Despite its flaws, the Gremlin boasted one of the widest engine ranges ever, from 2 to 5 liters. AMC eventually replaced it with the Spirit after the 1978 season. (1977) Chevrolet Monza Mirage. Originally derived from the Chevy Vega, the Monza debuted as a sleek 2+2 model featuring a hatchback design reminiscent of a fastback. Later, it evolved into the town coupe, blending sportiness with stylish appeal. In 1977, Michigan Auto Techniques introduced the Mirage, characterized by a white body adorned with red and blue racing stripes, flares, and a unique air dam and spoiler. The sole V8 option was the 305 CID 5L engine. However, the Monza Spider gained traction after 1977, overshadowing the Mirage. (1980-85) Chevrolet Citation X11. In 1980, GM launched its first downsized front-wheel drive FWD cars. The Citation X11 wasn't just about fancy decals and a new spoiler. It packed a punch with a high-output 2.8L V6 engine generating 135 PS, along with a sport-tuned suspension system. Upgrades in 1982 included enhancements to the chassis with stabilizer bars and a new steering rack. Available with either a 4-speed overdrive manual or a 3-speed automatic transmission, the X11 also featured a high-performance dual-tip exhaust for 154 lb-ft of torque. Despite its agility, the Citation had issues with rear wheel locking during hard braking and faced multiple factory recalls. (1980-81) DeLorean DMC-12. Remember the iconic car from Back to the Future? That was the DMC-12. Despite its fame, it lacked performance. Its flashy stainless steel body and gull-wing doors impressed, but the chassis, with Lotus's help, couldn't deliver. Under the hood, a Peugeot Renault Volvo 2.8L V6 churned out a mere 130 HP. Paired with an automatic transmission, it took 10.5 seconds to hit 0-60 mph. DeLorean attempted to turbocharge the engine but filed for bankruptcy in 1984 before production could ramp up. (1980-81) Mercury Capri Turbo RS. Originally part of Ford Europe's lineup, the Capri made its mark in the U.S. as 3 distinct models across 3 decades, often seen as the smaller counterpart to the Ford Mustang. Sporting a short trunk hatchback design with a tough aesthetic, it boasted a long hood. The performance variant came with a somewhat unreliable naturally aspirated 2.3L four-cylinder engine paired with a Garrett 60 trim turbocharger pushing out 132 whop. The Turbo RS edition featured a front air dam and a racing-inspired hatchback with an aero window, commonly known as a bubble back. Lincoln Mercury deserves acknowledgement for introducing the Capri in 1971 at a price point lower than any other European import at the time. 1980, Chevrolet Corvette California, 3 horsepower. Car enthusiasts are no strangers to the Corvette, but what made this particular model so disappointing? Federal emissions regulations. These rules mandated 350 CI small block engines, but in 1980 they were replaced with a 305 CD V8, churning out a mere 180 RP. To add insult to injury, in California, a 5L engine was mated to a 3-speed automatic transmission, sucking out its horsepower. Acceleration? Comparable to a Vespa. Non-California models fared only slightly better with a 5.7L engine and 190 HP. Carburetor and ignition timing were controlled by a new computer system. Californian buyers also had to shell out for an emissions certification, though they received a small credit. Let's not forget the glory days of late 60s, early 70s Corvettes. Those were true beasts with ample torque. (1971–1975) Ford Maverick Grabber. Ford introduced the compact Maverick as a pseudo-muscle car, drawing inspiration from the 1960 Ford Falcon. It was a two-door sedan designed for affordability in maintenance and production. Sporting a long hood, fastback roof, short deck, and pop-out rear side windows, it had a distinct style. The Grabber variant featured special graphics, trim, a spoiler, and a dual-dome hood. Additionally, the luxury decor option, LDO, boasted soft vinyl seats, wood-grain panel trim, and deluxe wheel covers, positioned as a domestic alternative to European brands. Initially powered by a 210 LP 302 CID V8 engine, later Grabber models saw a decrease to a mere 129. 1968–70 Pontiac Tempest. The 1968 redesign of the second-generation Tempest gave it a sleek, Coke bottle-shaped body, featuring curving fenders and a narrow center. It boasted a new 250 cubic inch overhead cam engine and a powerful 350 CD V8 with 250 horsepower. In 1969, a 3-speed turbo Hydramatic 350 automatic transmission replaced the older 2-speed version. However, the Le Mans series eventually surpassed the Tempest, leading to its discontinuation in 1970. This car would have definitely turned heads wherever you went. (1982) Chevrolet Camaro Iron Duke. The 2.5L Iron Duke served as the base engine for the revamped Camaro. It was the smallest and least powerful, paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission, equipped with fuel injection. Initially TBI, later Tech 4. It maintained a modest 90 HP output, resulting in a sluggish 0-60 mph acceleration of 20 seconds. The Tech 4 upgrade introduced improved bearings and a crankshaft. While more reliable over time, pushing it beyond its limits proved detrimental. Chevy ceased production in 1993. (1968–1970) AMC AMX. The AMX was a standout muscle car with a short wheelbase, offering impressive performance at an affordable price. Its optional high-compression 390 CID 6.4L V8 engine provided power. AMX, short for American Motors Experimental, targeted a youthful, performance-focused market. It was praised by the American Society of Automotive Engineers as the best engineered car of 1969 and 1970. Equipped with a Hurst manual transmission, the AMX allowed drivers to manually shift between gears from D. It boasted a quick 0 to 60 time of 6.6 seconds, making it a formidable contender on the road. Happy with today's list? Which car do you fancy most? Drop your pick in the comments below. Catch you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye for now.